and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Sammy of Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
We're back. Another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 127. This one we're talking about the year 1983. I was just thinking the other day, I don't know how it came up, but yeah, 1983. I was like, damn, there's a lot of really, really good albums, and it was 40 years ago. So
yeah,
I know we did one for last year. We did 92.
Yeah.
Thought that was a good year or something. So yeah. Did we do 92 or was it 91? We did 91, I think.
maybe 91 when the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica, and all that stuff came out.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so
yeah. So I mean, we're probably
going. Here we go.
Stay more near towards it. We'll glance over some other stuff, but they'll probably go
hard rock metal.
So before we get to the hard rock and metal stuff, the big movies from '83: Return of the Jedi, Flashdance, Tootsie. How about that one? You ever see Tootsie?
I did.
I remember Tootsie.
Yeah, I remember Tootsie. Was that Dustin Hoffman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The biggest toys for Christmas were the Cabbage Patch dolls. I guess for the girls, and for the boys, the Atari 5200 was another big one. Which I never had the 5200.
I didn't get into that.
I didn't. But
I didn't know anybody.
I didn't have.
Didn't they have a 7800, or am I thinking of Bon Jovi 7800 Fahrenheit?
There might have been.
I thought there was a 78.
I think there might have been. Yeah,
you know what?
I think there was.
Okay, I thought
1600.
So. Yeah,
was there a 1600 maybe?
There was a 2600, which was the main one.
2600 was the main one.
Okay, that was the original.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who had the 5200.
E.T., man. E.T. killed the whole home video game market for a while.
They oversaturated.
Just that game alone just killed everything.
It wasn't even good.
Kind of weird.
It wasn't even good.
Come on. It wasn't as. It could have been worse, man. It could have been a lot worse. It was bad, but I mean, like they made such a bigger deal about how bad it was, and there were so many games in Atari that was worse than that.
It kind of reminded me of Adventure.
That's true.
Remind me of Adventure.
Well, right.
I like really think about it. Though. If you guys have ever gone back and tried to play some of those Atari games that are on, you could buy like those little controller thing. They're all pretty fucking terrible.
I rebought even the Nintendo ones. And guess what? I thought I was going to like it. I can't play it.
Right.
It's tough to go back.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Like I love Tecmo Bowl, so I bought it for the thing. Even for my Xbox or whatever. And I'm like, I love the way it was back in the day, but I'll never play it now. Madden's just so much better. It's hard.
I know.
And there's still people that do that.
Yeah, they're It's fun. It's fun to play like one time, just to kind of like, I'm feeling nostalgic. Let me play.
Or if you have a bunch of people and you're doing like a little party thing, that's cool.
Yeah. But I can't see somebody doing that. Oh yeah, I'm playing Tecmo Bowl tonight. And tomorrow night, and the night after. Yeah.
So
I mean, a Monopoly board is more high tech than that.
Monopoly's my favorite game.
We got to play
a game.
Yeah.
So so the as far as the 83 in music, man, there was heavy hitters in 83. Even not counting before we even get into the rock and metal stuff. You had Men at Work came out with Cargo, the song It's a Mistake. Donna Summers, She Works Hard for the Money was huge. Madonna, first record, Borderline, came out. Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual. What Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down with Hello. Yeah. But the biggest record in 1983 was a record was released in 1982 in November. So it got released the end of November, and Thriller. Thriller hit number one.
Oh, well, come on. I know it has. Yeah. Exactly.
That was the biggest record of 83.
Thriller, right?
Came out in 82. Yep. So Michael Jackson was still,
and like the biggest album of all time. So
yeah, pretty much. So what a year for metal though, too. Jesus. And I was 10, so I remember a lot of this stuff. Dame, you were only 6. So it's great. You
so I don't remember. To be totally honest with you,
no, you were a kid.
I remember. Come on, I was too into playing He-Man.
You were young,
Joe, but you
Mike
remember MTV generation.
I was 7, 8.
Yeah, and then you get into it a few years after that, and you go back,
and
you're still sort of like in that time period.
Yeah,
So,
but The good thing for me,
At
I was in the time period, so it was perfect for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in 1983. I was still on the Michael Jackson bandwagon. So
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Right.
yeah, because he was huge. He was everywhere. He
Yeah.
was everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It was that was like if you were a kid, like Mike said, at that age, yeah, you're into Michael Jackson. It was like, who wasn't? I guess
Yep.
I guess it's almost like how Taylor Swift is now. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
Like everybody fucking
Yep.
yeah,
And
but
even
Michael
like
Jackson was like boys and girls, man. He was just like
yeah.
over the top of everything.
I
Mhm.
missed it, thank God. Well, I like it more now than I did back then, but yeah, I missed all that. It was right before for me.
Well, 83 to me, I mean, even if you talk to a lot of like music historians, I think 83 for metal hard rock was probably the year it really became like mainstream.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
of
I didn't realize that many bands
MTV.
came out.
I know. Well, when you really look at it, and it was just like the perfect storm because MTV was only a couple years old at that time, and you had all these new bands coming out, and it was a lot of they're either like their first or second records, or bands that were around for a while. Like for example, we'll take Dio. He had a history with Sabbath and Rainbow, and it was his first solo album came out that year, and that was a huge one.
yeah.
And
Well, let's go through everything. Let's just everybody take a shot here. Before I get into it, we forgot about Journey. Journey was freaking huge in '83 too.
mm-hmm.
They were huge. They came out on Frontiers. They were big. Like I said,
I couldn't tell you one Journey song back then.
oh my God, they were huge. But you were
I was
back then?
you
yeah.
were 6, 7 or whatever. You were young.
Oh yeah, well at
It
that
was
time, yeah, but,
Michael Jackson and Pac-Man Fever
yeah.
and the Beatles. I was listening to the Beatles at that point, but it was mainly Michael Jackson and Pac-Man Fever.
Yep.
yeah.
All right, Damo. Let's just do random picks. No special order. What do you want to talk about first, Damo?
I don't know. First album that I think of when I think of 1983 would probably be Shout at the Devil for some reason. That's like the 1983 record for me. That to me, I think it's their best album. I think it's their best I don't want to say sounding record because I really do love the way Dr. Feelgood sounds, but that's like so big, over the top, overproduced sounding record. But Shout at the Devil, just for them at that time, it was like everything was perfect. And to be a kid at that,
It was
during that
visual
period,
too.
with the whole devil thing, and nobody was really doing it at the time. I mean, what's there not to like?
Yeah, they were very visual. Once the
they
Kill
really
came out.
embraced the well, I should say maybe MTV really embraced them also because of they're very image conscious and everything. And yeah, it was just, landmark record too,
Yep. Favorite song, Damo Fat. If you had to pick one song of Shout at the Devil.
It's probably, I'm going to say Looks to Kill. I never get sick of that. That's the studio version.
Yeah.
Live, it sounds good. It's different to me. Doesn't have the same sound. It never did. But that song was probably my favorite, and I never get tired of it.
Yep. Mike D, how about you? Off that record.
You know what? I don't even remember that when it came out. I'll put it that way. My favorite song off that was like later on, probably Shout at the Devil.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to go with Looks to Kill because the first time I seen them in magazines. They were in Hit Parader, and they looked kind of weird because they kind of looked like a Kiss ripoff. In my head, everything looked like Kiss back then. So if they had makeup on or something with blood, it was to me. I thought it was Kiss. So when Looks to Kill was on MTV, that's the first time I seen it, and I was hooked as soon as I seen the video. So I would have to say what Looks to Kill was my first real Motley Crue, hearing them. Mike D, album from '83. What are you going with?
Well, I'm going to take this before you guys. I'm going to go with Kiss Lick It Up.
Damn.
It's funny.
And I know
Like
nothing about this
snatching
album. So I was just here to say it before you guys did.
So that's all you know about that
Good
record.
job.
That's it.
That's
Good
all
job.
I know. Yeah.
Good
That's
job.
all
Way
I
to
know.
do, Mike. Great job. Great job.
Well, it was a plain album cover for them. I mean, the first time they're revealing their faces. You know what they should have done, really, is they should have, and I'm surprised they didn't do this coming from them, is they should have had like a cellophane thing covering up the album cover or something, and then when you buy it, you rip it off and it reveals them.
They would have sold more just to do that, probably, because it wasn't like you had the internet
Yeah,
back then.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do that.
If they would have thought of it, they would have did it, because there was no internet, so it was still a surprise to a lot of people.
Yeah, right.
It was sold a lot of copies.
So it's like, so if you're like on the fringes, like if you're like, I'm not really that big a fan, but I do want to see what they look like. Hey, you just pick it up the record store. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember being at my grandmother's house on Jackson Street, and when you walk through the door, you have your parlor, whatever you want to call it, dining room parlor, where the TV is, and then there was like a middle room before the kitchen that was like another kind of TV room if you want to watch sports or something else. And I was watching MTV, and it's when they did the unmasking for Lick It Up, and that was great. I was so excited as a kid because I loved them since I was little, So I vividly remember that. The Phillies might have been on. I might have been watching the Phillies and switched the channel when they were getting ready to do that,
Mm-hmm.
So I just remember the video, and you see their legs. You didn't see their face yet. You just seen like them walking.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
And the chorus comes up. It's when they reveal it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. So I would have to say Lick It Up's probably even though it's played out a little bit, but it's still the best song off there. That's my best memory. I'll go with my memory. My best memory was seeing that video. And a lot of this, especially around 83, is because of the videos, because that was the time, I was 10 years old and MTV was, I guess, just kind of really breaking, Yeah. So for the next one, where am I going to go with here?
Come on. I know which one you're going to go with.
I want to go You Can't Stop Rock and Roll from Twisted Sister. How about that one?
Wow. I'm surprised you went with that one. I thought you were going to go with the other one. It's Counterpart.
Probably my favorite. But yeah, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll from Twisted Sister. I remember the video before I knew anything about them. I didn't pick it up until Stay Hungry came out. And then I rewatched again. Oh, that's that band, because they looked crazy. They were just getting chased by cops or whatever the deal was. And yeah, great song. I appreciate that album way more now than I did when it first came out.
Yeah.
But it did make me want to buy Stay Hungry. You have any memories of You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, Damon?
Yeah, it's a great album. I love that one. It's a lot of great songs on there. Yeah. I mean, the title track, I really like. Is not Knife in the Back, I think.
Kids are back.
I Am on Me.
Yeah, which kind of sounds like We're Not Going to Take It, right? If I think about it, right?
Which one?
Yeah, I Am on Me. It's kind of like We're Not Going to Take It, right? It's kind of got the same feel.
So yeah, I mean, it's sort of like that same vibe.
But even their first record was great. That what's it? Under the Blade, was it? Under the Blade? That's the first one.
Under the Blade, yeah.
Great record, heavy record. But this was real good. And by the time Stay Hungry came out, I was already hooked. I was hooked with Stay Hungry. But
yeah.
I don't think Mike has anything for Twisted Sister. Do you, Mike? For You Can't Stop Rock and Roll?
No, I believe I have Stay Hungry. You gave it to me on vinyl.
So that was the one.
The only thing I remember Twisted Sister, because it was funny, because it might have been like a year or two after this. And we had to bring like a record or tape into school, and the teacher would play a track off of it, And like at that point, like I was just music stupid. So I didn't know anything new that came out. And, Michael Jackson might have been a little bit over at that point. So I said to one of my neighbors, I'm like, dude, what do you got? You got anything new? He's like, yeah, here, Twisted Sister. Here, play this track. So I was like, We're Not Going to Take It. Right. So that's my oldest memory of Twisted Sister right there. But I never really got into it until later. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that? Probably like 84, Stay Hungry? 84?
That was 84.
84.
Yeah. So it was probably like around 84, 85 maybe.
Yeah.
That I first really heard of them.
Yeah. Damo, what you got next?
I have AC/DC Flick of the Switch.
That's your AC/DC record. That's one of your favorites.
That is I mean, I love Back in Black, but I like Flick of the Switch almost as much. It's really, really underrated record. It's on this one, they kind of went back to the rawness of the Bon Scott era records.
Right. Not as polished.
And not as polished. Yeah. I mean, the song Flick of the Switch, man, that gets me going, man.
I like the Bedlam song. I like that one.
Yeah, Bedlam in Belgium, Rising Power.
That's good.
This house is on fire. Another great tune. The first three songs like really get me going. Like when I was really into running and stuff, I would put this album was like my running album. And
Really?
not like it's like I'm listening to Slayer. It's like super fast, but just like the whole
Motivate.
groove. It's like powerful. Yeah, it just keeps me going.
It's an underrated
really
record.
good.
It's an underrated record.
Very, very underrated, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Mike D, what do you got on your list?
I'm going to go with a weird one, and it's just because of one of the songs I remember off of, and not even a favorite band of mine or a favorite album. But how about Styx? Kilroy Was Here. And I remember Mr. Roboto. I kind of like that because like back then I was just like huge into like robots and stuff like that. So that was just like right in my wheelhouse, that song. Even though I had no idea who the hell Styx were.
Yeah, I think people would have thought they were heavier than what they were because of that whole kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty much kind of classic rockish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like
I think in the 70s, I think that like they're early from
a little more proggy, right?
Told, I think the early 70s records were like more hard rock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think at that point they had like a whole lineup change and everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with probably my favorite album of '83, which coincides with another album that came out the same year. Quiet Riot, Mental Health. It's still in my top 10. It's one of the first records that I gravitated to. I mean, I love every song off it. I gravitated to that and I played the shit out of that. So I knew that inside out. You know, their other stuff's okay. This is the record. I love this record. It's just so good.
Yeah, no, it's classic. That is probably the record that really broke it. I mean, and people have said that was like it was the first heavy metal record to go to #1.
Yeah,
on the charts. You know,
I mean, even
forget how big it was.
Even the songs like "Love's a Bitch," you know, "Slick Black Cadillac." Even though we heard it before, but "Slick Black Cadillac," I never heard it until then.
I like that.
I never heard that before until then. Right? A "Slick Black Cadillac."
Yeah, that was an old Randy Rhoads song. Yeah.
"Drive Me Crazy." That's one of the, if I remember. "Drive Me Crazy." That Thunderbird.
Run for Cover.
Thunderbird. "Run for Cover." I mean, the whole album's great. And then you had the hits. You know, you had "Come On, Feel the Noise." You had "Mental Health." I love that record from top to bottom. Even the guitar solo thing, the battle axe thing. I like it all. I like it all. Mike D, anything with Quiet Riot?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get into it back then. I remember seeing the album covers all over like wall to wall sound and video and everything. And by the time I got into it, it was like, you know, just kind of there. But I kind of like growing up, I kind of loathed the Mental Health, the song. And not because it's a bad song, just because everybody who didn't listen to rock music knew that song. And everybody would tell you, you got long hair, go bang your head. Come on, bang your head. And it's like, oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it became,
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Like derogatory almost.
Yeah. It's like, leave it alone. It's one goddamn song.
Yeah.
Damo, what you got?
I got Def Leppard, Pyromania.
Oh, yeah.
This is another one, probably one of the biggest records of all time. Huge record. I mean, there's so many great songs on that. Photograph, Foolin', Rock of Ages, Stage Fright is probably one of my favorites.
That's the whole record's good.
Yeah, Too Late for Love, Action Not Words is great. Coming Under Fire is a great one. Man, like the whole album is just like
the whole album's great.
Perfect record. Yeah.
Yep. Favorite song off that record? If you had to pick one, it's tough.
I think I like probably Stage Fright. I think if you had to ask me
the
right
opening,
now.
Yep. Mike D, Def Leppard.
Yeah, great album. I think I know I have my rules against songs that say rock in it, but Rock of Ages is just a great song.
Yeah. I guess you got to remember, like we were saying the other day, is the time. So if something sounds, if you listen to it now, you go, "Oh, it's kind of cheesy." Well, back then it wasn't really cheesy. It was happening.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
The Shock Me, Rock Me stuff. That's what was happening. So that's my second favorite, and it's really close to to Mental Health. That's my second favorite. I remember same thing, watching MTV used to be Friday night video fights or something like that, and you used to have to call up to vote who you wanted to win, and it was like, it could have been like Foolin' versus Mental Health or Come on Feel the Noise. And I remember what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I got to vote for whatever, so I would vote for both or whatever, But them two records were the it records of that year. As far as full top to bottom, still strong today. Those songs are all still strong today. But I love the Def Leppard Pyromania record. Okay, so Mike D, what do you got on your list?
I'm going to go with a debut album here, and I didn't even realize until later on that it was 1983 that it came out. Queensryche, self-titled.
I think it came out 82, but it was probably the tail end of 82.
No. Mike is correct though, because I saw it on my list. I was gonna.
Okay.
Actually, I was gonna get to that one too. The EP.
The EP.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was it, and I picked that up
August.
till later, like after Mindcrime. But
Right.
guess what?
Yeah.
For a first, they were pretty heavy on that, man.
Oh yeah.
August of '83 came out.
It was 83. Okay, I stand correct.
Yeah, August.
Yeah, they were pretty heavy. I mean, Lady Wore Black was a great song.
For the longest
Mike?
time, man, they were like one of my favorite bands. Queensryche. They could do no wrong.
Yep. I totally agree. How about you, dear Damo? What was your favorite song off that EP?
The Queen of the Reich. That title.
Yep. That was your
Same
jam.
here.
Yeah, I'm going with Lady Wore Black.
And the video, you notice everything was like Mad Max that year too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you had that one. You
Looks to
had
Kill.
The Looks to Kill, the Lick It Up video. Everything was like Mad Max theme. Like post-apocalyptic.
Yep.
It's kind of funny.
Yep. I'm going to go with, even though I didn't listen to this record till after I heard the second record, Metallica, Kill 'Em All. Great record, so strong. I can't believe Metallica's been out that long. Can't believe I can't believe they've been out that long. Yeah, I love this record. I didn't hear it till after I heard Ride the Lightning, and the only reason why I heard Ride the Lightning was one of my buddies said it Tabilio might even had it. I might have heard from him or Fortino, and I heard For Whom the Bell Tolls and Fade to Black. They were the two that I remember, and then Creeping Death because I had the chant, and then I didn't probably buy Kill 'Em All till after I got Master of Puppets. And then I bought Kill 'Em All, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And, they're still great. Favorite song off this? It switches. I kind of like Motor Breath. I kind of dig that song. Damo, favorite song off Kill 'Em All? If you had to pick one.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of them I like. Maybe Phantom Lord, maybe.
Yeah.
Or the Four Horsemen. Probably the Four Horsemen.
Nice. Mike D?
Yeah.
I couldn't even give you one off of that. That's probably the one Metallica album I'm probably the least familiar with.
You know what? Out of the first five, that's the one I know the least. Also,
I could see. I could see that. All right, Damo, what you got?
Oh yeah, you picked yours. I have Accept, Balls to the Wall.
That's a good one.
Nice.
And I didn't get into this until like the early 90s, I think. The video, the Balls to the Wall video, still used to be played on Headbangers Ball, and I remember seeing it, man. Just hearing that, guitar
They charged
riff.
you up.
Yeah,
man. And then Udo's voice, man. Fuck. Like I wish I had a voice like that to sing. Like that to me, that's like my my prototypical heavy metal voice, like that voice, and that part in the in the chorus where he says he said, I forget the lyric, but he says you like really really long, and it could like fucking like cut through glass, but that song and London
Leather Boys, yeah, that song.
Love Child is a great one, man. It's some just like killer.
They're a
riffs,
good band. I don't think that many
guitar
people know
tone.
how good they are. They're a good band. They're still good.
Yeah,
they're still good. Mike D, you remember it? You remember Balls to the Wall, I'm sure.
I know this song, but there's not much from that band I really know. I mean, that is a killer song, and I'm surprised I never even picked that up when I was younger.
Yeah, they got some really good stuff. I mean,
I even like the one after
some of the
Udo
other
left.
stuff.
I like the Eat the Heat record. I think that's a great record.
Yeah.
With Generation
Ecstasy, I think
Clash. Yeah, that's a good one. the thing that stuck out for me for Accept was that he looked different than everybody else did. Totally different.
Yeah, well, you know what? I always thought like him and Rob Halford were like best friends or something because of both their short hair.
You never know. They both like leather.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think the guitar player's wife used to write the lyrics because they're German and the English wasn't so good. So hence like London Leather Boys and stuff like that might be a little, you know,
confusing.
And maybe that's why I thought that maybe him and Rob Halford would
I'm a sucker for like lost in translation stuff though, man. That's great, you know?
Yeah.
Mike D, what you got?
Well, I'm going to go with a little off track on this one. I'm going to hit you with the Huey Lewis and the News.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good record.
And that was Sports.
Okay.
And I remember my mother was into him and she used to play this all the time. And I think recently in the past few years, because I never really paid it no mind, it was just there. And then I heard it again. I'm like, wow, this is really good.
I actually picked it up on vinyl.
I mean, that album did killer. That was a killer selling album. And yeah, I mean, I think he gets looked at as a joke kind of now, but I don't know. They were good.
Yeah. No, I like Huey Lewis a lot, and that's like one band I really wish that I would have seen. Believe it or not.
And he was pretty cool to his fans too. Like my mother used to write for autographs and stuff like that, and she sent away for his, and he sent her a picture autographed, and he sent her his Christmas tape for free.
Mm.
So I always thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind.
Yeah, it's classic.
First record with Nico McBrain. Wow. I mean, the first 6 or so Maiden records are just perfect. They're just perfect.
Yeah.
Peace of Mind, great record. Where Eagles Dare, The Trooper, Flight of Icarus. So there's so many, and the artwork, of course, was beautiful. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still love this record to this day. Absolutely. Favorite song? That's a tough one. Probably Revelations. That's my favorite song from that Maiden record. How about you, Damo? What's your favorite of that Maiden record?
Looking at this track listing, it's tough. Man, Revelations.
Trying to think what was off of that.
I don't know. Revelations or Where Eagles Dare. I mean, The Trooper's great. Yeah, I remember I bought this cassette used.
Right.
I bought it used, and yeah, just those memories, man. Popping the cassette tape in, and just listen. I'm just looking at the track listing and all those memories.
Yeah. So Damo, what do you got on your list next? We'll do a couple more.
I'm going with Rat, the Rat EP.
Yeah.
Sweet Cheater. It's fucking heavy. They were a metal band.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that.
On this EP.
I don't remember that.
It was before the first record.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. I actually have it on CD. I got the cassette, and I think I have a copy on vinyl too. But You Think You're Tough is on there. That's probably the most, and Tell the World. Those two are probably the most well-known songs. But the two heaviest ones, You Got It and Sweet Cheater is great. There's an early version of Back for More on there, and then there's the Aerosmith cover, Walking the Dog. So yeah, 6 tracks. It's great. It's got Tawny Kitane's Leg with a bunch of
is that who that is?
Over it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. I had that back in the day, and then I never got it again. Like it lost.
Oh, it's great.
Wasn't You Think You're Tough was on there first, right? The original version was that on there? I think it might have been.
You Think You're Tough is on there.
Yeah.
The original version of Back for More is on there.
Okay, yeah, I gotta recheck that out. Mike D, what you got?
I'd send you a little Billy Idol, Rebel Yell.
That came out that year too.
Yeah, that was a big record.
And you had Rebel Yell on there, Eyes Without a Face, Flesh for Fantasy, Catch My Fall. That was a good album.
That was a big record. That was pretty much at his peak too, because you figure right before that was Dance With Myself, which kind of really broke him with MTV, right? And then after
Mhm.
that, I mean, he could do no wrong. And it's weird. Like, I like Billy Idol. I don't like everything. I like him. I like his stuff. As far as songs go, I don't like everything, but the ones I like, I really
Like
like.
singles.
Yeah, definitely. What to go with next here? I'm going to go with Merciful Fate, Melissa. I love Merciful Fate. I love this record. I probably didn't get it till like maybe 88 or something like that. I got it later than it came out. But I remember seeing the picture. It was pretty scary when they would show the picture of the band. Favorite song, Melissa, Curse of the Pharaohs. I like all that stuff. Dame, you got anything off of this? Do you have this record?
No, I don't. Nothing pops out off the top of my head right now.
Okay. All right. Dame, what do you got on your list?
Ozzy, Bark at the Moon. I wanted to get that in before we get off, before we forget.
Yeah.
Oh, I was getting that next. We weren't letting that go.
Yeah, the first one with Jakey Lee. Great album, man. Jake's my favorite Ozzy guitar player, and it was great. Killer. Like that was like Ozzy's like LA metal record. I thought.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked that record.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked that. I remember when So Tired came out and they barely played it on the radio. And there was a video that they barely played also for that. I remember having the old radio and having play and record ready to go. For like when MMR YSP played, like back in, instead of being smart and just taping the whole show, you're waiting for the one song, But I like that record. Mike, any favorite song off that record?
Trying to think now.
Bark at the Moon, So Tired.
It's got to be Bark at the Moon.
Yeah.
That's just a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, Mike, what you got?
Am I up already?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go with a personal favorite of mine. I don't know if you guys like him, listen to him, or what, but Tom Waits. And he put out that
Very metal.
Swordfish Trombone.
What's it called?
Very metal. Let's rock. Swordfish Trombone.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that.
But
I don't know anything from him.
It was almost a turning point for him where he was kind of like stopping doing all the lounge stuff, and then he was kind of getting into like Captain Beefheartish kind of territory there. It's just kind of like, I don't even know what to make. It's like blues, like kind of like touches of vaudeville kind of music, and it's just something you just throw on and just listen to.
Well, he's got a very distinctive voice. That's the main thing.
He's got that growl, gnarly kind of.
It's an interesting voice. It's an interesting
smoker's voice.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's deep. Yeah, it's an interesting voice. I'm just going to ramble off before we wrap up here. A couple other big ones that came out that year. Surprisingly, it's weird looking at some of these records. I can't believe it came out that year. Slayer, Show No Mercy. Black Sabbath, Born Again with Ian Gillan singing.
Yep.
Motorhead, Another Perfect Day. What else came out? Manowar, Into Glory, right? Joan Jett came out that year. Crocus, Headhunter. Not enough people talk about Crocus. I kind of like some Crocus.
That's great.
Stuff.
That's a great album. Yeah.
Screaming in the Night is on there, right? Screaming in the Night's on there. Yeah.
I never even heard a Crocus song.
Really? Screaming in the Night's a great song.
No.
Yeah, it's a good album. Really good album.
I didn't hear a Saxon song until last night.
And I played Saxon last night. That album was pretty good. It was.
Well, we just listened to one song, I think, but I was like, wow, it's not what I expected. I was expecting like more, like I was expecting like a little glamish kind of band going on there.
Oh yeah, they're metal.
Yeah,
they were pretty good. It was pretty good, that song. I don't even know what the song was called, but it was good.
Yeah, the album was Power and the Glory, but Alcatraz also came out that year, which I had it, but I don't remember anything of it. I don't know if Yngwie was on it.
I don't even know that.
He might have been. So I mean, but then you also, you compete with stuff like 99 Loft Balloons, all that shit's around that time too. And Culture Club was at that time, and like Spandau Ballet was everywhere.
ZZ Top, Eliminator.
Now that's a crossover for me. I think all the metal guys still like ZZ Top.
Yeah,
so that's a great
Jets record with I Love Rock and Roll that came out 83.
Yeah. Was that 83? I thought
also,
it was really
yeah.
U2 War.
Zebra, the first Zebra record.
U2 War.
Really, really good.
Was that U2's first one? Was War their debut?
Who?
War from U2, was that their debut?
It could have been. I'm not really too up on U2.
Men at Work.
Not my thing.
Yeah.
Not my thing. And Dio Holy Diver, which we did mention earlier. So I mean, great year for music. And for you guys, it's great. I know Dame especially goes into it. He listened back. Dockin', the first Dockin', which,
Breaking the Chains.
you know what? I liked it more when I was a kid. Listen to it now, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not too big into that record. The first record.
I love Under Lock and Key and Tooth and
Nail.
Nail. I like them too a lot. And Back for More. Is it Back for the Attack? I like those records a lot.
YT, Mean Streak is another great one. It came out. Thin Lizzy, Thunder and Lightning.
That's a good one too. Yeah,
Sykes. It's a great record. Great record.
Slayer, Show No Mercy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much good shit came out that year. So if you guys get a chance, let us know what your favorite ones are and
or what we're missing.
Post it up. I'm sure we're missing a ton because it must be a huge
record.
Year.
Yes.
What's your favorite record from 1983? Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. See you next week.